Hey gang, what's up? It's Ron again over at bulletprooflease.com. Okay. Strange video today. I'll try to explain it best I can. Okay. So in probably 90% of my buildings, you never saw a lawn. No lawns, okay? And they're usually in low-income rental housing. Usually the lawns are very small. They're usually out front of the building. Every building's different, of course, But so what I would do is I would hardscape it, okay? I wouldn't take the lawn out, but what I would do is put filter fabric over it and rocks, okay? And you never want to put small, tiny little pebble rocks, okay? Here's why. What I learned is, and I did this on my first building, is I put that, and I thought, okay, no lawn to cut, and I'll explain why in a minute. But then it becomes a party patio, right? They put tables out, chairs, play dominoes all night. And then, now you're getting phone calls. Oh, they're loud, whatever. So you always don't put fist-size rocks out, okay? And the reason is you can't put a chair down. It sits all wonky, right? Yeah, you can't walk on it or anything like that. So anyway, so why do I do that? So I do that because I make a ton of money by doing that. Why would I make money by not having a lawn? And I'm just going to use simple math here, okay? So let's say you are in an area that the season is long, and that means that you're cutting the grass once a week, right? So your landscaper comes out, let's just say it's $35 a cut. I mean, I just making numbers up here, but roughly that. Okay, well, $35 a week, right? And there's more than 4 weeks in a month. There's 4.3 weeks in a month. Okay, so now you're spending, I don't know, each building's costing you $140 a month. If my rough math is right, now times, let's just say you had 10 buildings, right? That's $1,400 a month just to cut grass. Okay. So why does that put money in my pocket, right? I'm spending money, right? Well, I'm saving the money I'm not spending, right? That's money in my pocket, but that's not the real money, by the way. Okay. It's the multiplier that takes effect now, right? So these are 10 cap buildings. So I'll do videos on this later, but the cap rate is a return, but it's also a multiplier. So at a 10 cap, every dollar I make or save, right? Or save is times 10. So that $1,400 times 10, or $140 times 10 buildings is $1,400 a month. Okay. And I know it's not year round in a lot of locales, but I'm just going to do it because the math is simple in my head. Okay. So now that's 14,000 a year, right? 1,400 times 12. I'm just going to call it 14,000 a year, rough math. Well, at a 10 cap, every dollar I make or save is times 10, right? I just saved $14,000. Now it's times 10. That's the math. That's 140,000. At an 8 cap, that 140 becomes rough 170. Whoa, number's getting big now. So I just raised my NOI over my portfolio by $140,000 by just not cutting grass. Okay, so the math matters at scale with the multiplier. But here's the best part. So now 140,000. Could I go get a loan against that? Absolutely. I'm unemployed and I don't want to provide my tax returns. Could I still get a loan? Absolutely. Welcome to commercial real estate, okay? I can go get a DSCR loan all day long, right? At 80% LTV. Not even a big deal. So 140, are they going to give me 140? Absolutely not. Are they going to give me about 110? Absolutely. Is it going to be tax-free? Oh yeah. Okay. I'm not gonna pay any tax on that. Not a dime. Okay. So now, of course, the numbers get bigger. You raise the rent, lower expenses, blah, blah, blah. But just by not cutting the lawn, I massively increase my net worth. I increase my cash flow, and I can, if I choose, pull money out tax free. So rather than just say, oh, he doesn't cut the lawn, or, he put rocks in, piece of shit, whatever. No, that's not how you got to look at it, okay? So anyway, guys, sorry for the rambling. Hopefully you understand what I was talking about. Visit bulletprooflease.com. My wife and I own to manage several hundred low-income units up in Connecticut and a little bit in Florida as well. 31 pages, fully editable. Thanks for watching.